What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome back to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my very healthy co-host, Mr. Shaun Mead. Shaun, how is it going?
Oh, see what you've done there, Connor, is you've just lied to the audience, because I think it's safe to say both of us are not the pictures of health that we usually are this week.
What?
Oh, perfectly timed.
I didn't hear
a
you.
Perfectly timed cough.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. This, I think it's going to be a coffee week. And now I have had many PCR tests done. Nothing serious. Just the old general colds are back, Shaun.
Yeah, it's cold season. It's common cold season, and it's also gotten quite cold.
And I also think, because we've been inside for a year and a half, I went out to do the shopping last week, and it was slightly cold.
Your immune system is empty. You know, you don't have the reserve of germs built up. I don't know how the body works, but I assume you collect germs like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And then
you rub your face in dirt until you're immune, is what I've heard.
That's what I did as a child, yeah. I would just be put into various unsanitary situations. Just be like, no, he'll be a god by the end of
it. Yu-Gi-Oh! So, Shaun, this is Movie Mondays. Now, last week we did our very long and in-depth review of Dune.
Correct.
A movie that we both very much, I think it was just a lot of gushing over the film itself.
I think we genuinely enjoyed a movie, and it was nice to talk about that with someone.
It's not often we get to do that.
Rare it happens these days.
I have a very small thought on that, by the way, is that the more movies that have come out since, the more I keep thinking back to our Black Widow review, and I'm like, were we too generous?
We may have been, you know. But it's because we were so starved for content for so long, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So we're back to regular movie news this week, and what that means is we have an extra week of news. Now, I don't like to cover news stories that probably have been covered hundreds of times. There is one particular trailer that stars Mr. Jared Let-o that we will have to talk about.
Patron saint of the pod, Jared Let-o.
He's the man who got us our big break. I think, since then, there's been at least 2 new listeners. And I love the idea that they have no idea who Jared Let-o is.
That was early doors as well, that we just decided to call him Jared Let-o so we don't get copyright striked.
We decided to just viciously attack him on a weekly basis.
Yeah, because what's he going to do about it? Cry in his billionaire mansion?
He's actually pretty ripped now. He's probably going to kick the shit out of us.
It's all CGI. It's like 300. It's like Ghost Rider. He's Nicolas Cage Ghost Ridering it.
Nicolas Cage could still kick the shit out of us.
Do you think Jared Let-o is the modern, the modern man's Nicolas Cage? Because he's been in some good movies, but also some absolute shit.
We're not talking about Jared until later on.
Right, Shaun, we'll get into it later.
we'll get into that big burning question. That's a bit of a setup. We'll answer, is he the new Nicolas Cage? Later on. But we're starting this week with a trailer that I feel like no other movie podcast will be covering this week, Shaun.
Yes.
And because we're doing a trailer that's a few days old, I thought it was important we got hot on the scoop. We wanted just hot off the press. We're going to come first to this trailer because, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest trailer of 2021 has dropped. And
fuck Spider-Man, we said. Fuck Eternals.
Fuck Batman. No need, right?
Titan Season 1. Excellent.
Fuck Batman. What we have here is the new trailer for Roland Emmerich's Moonfall, Shaun.
Oh, it's good. Oh, you know it's good.
For anyone, by the way, there's multiple people like, what the fuck is Moonfall?
What the fuck is Moonfall? Why are we talking about Moonfall?
Can you describe why we like Moonfall and why we're discussing this?
Okay, imagine a standard disaster movie, right?
Yeah. So Roland Emmerich's done them.
Big fan of him. You got sometimes like aliens, sometimes it's a big wave or something. But what if the enemy of the movie was the moon?
And we gotta fight the moon.
And the moon is falling out of orbit. That's all we've gotten up to this point, that the moon is falling out of orbit and that's a disaster movie. This trailer just keeps escalating. Yeah. Like, it never stops. Like, and I think there's going to be another twist. I legitimately think this is not the end. Like, there is going to be a more batshit things to happen in this movie.
There's hundreds of trailers. Like every week I do try to put the news together, and it's like there's loads of trailers for all these different movies that nobody's ever going to see, right? Let's be honest, right? But especially these days. But in regards to this trailer, it really caught my eye. The very original teaser was just the headline of "What if the moon crashed into Earth?" And I just remember thinking, how are we going to win? What's the act 3 of that movie?
Yeah, like, because I think I did this. I'm not going to go over it again because I think I did this the first time we talked about this trailer.
Because I introduced this movie to you and you couldn't wrap your head around it.
No, because if the moon were to move like a metre,
even a millimetre,
yeah, like I cannot stress how tenuous that fucking balance is between Earth's survival and the moon. Yeah, Venice is flooded now. Fucking, It's going to throw everything out of whack. Like, it's going to, like, all those asteroids that miss us by a fraction of an inch because the moon fucking boomerangs it. That's going to fuck us again.
Yeah.
And
Roland Emmerich was the only man brave enough to tackle the option of, we fought aliens. So someone's like, we've done all the alien movies, Roland. What are we going to do? What the fuck is up in space that we could use? Have we done the sun? We have done sunshine. Yeah. It's kind of already been done.
Maybe I could. What's behind the sun?
Mars is too far away.
No,
too
Elon
long.
Musk has that capitalised.
He has that down. The moon. Why isn't the moon turn bad?
Okay, and look, the premise for this trailer is a wizened old man.
First major trailer.
Yeah, first like plot based trailer. And we're going so in depth on this dumb movie, by the way.
Oh, we're fully seeing this movie because nobody else will do a review on this. I just want to see it just to look at you while it's happening,
while the pearls fall in slow motion. But the thing, we have a wizened old man telling us, July 1969, man lands on the moon. Donald Sutherland of Hunger Games. And other things. But you were told that, like, the astronauts lost contact with humanity for 2 minutes. They were all on their own in the universe. But they weren't.
No, because they weren't.
There's, inside the moon, there's a big microbot snake creature.
The thing I was getting from this trailer is that the first idea we thought of, Roland, he's done Independence Day, he's done 2012, all that shit.
Yeah.
This time he's bringing the moon. The moon is the enemy. We gotta destroy the moon. And so we were going in willy-nilly, just naively, thinking, well, we just gotta destroy the moon and then we win. But I feel like, by the way, that's not a win. But
no, unless you replace it with another moon.
What this trailer does is it gives you the idea that the moon is going to crash into Earth. And then they decide, let's up the ante.
A compelling concept on its own.
How are we going to up the ante? 1, is it aliens? Is the moon actually an alien ship that is actually flying towards Earth? And then it introduces the nanobots from Big Hero 6.
I was going to say Big Hero 6.
as an enemy. And I was just looking at this like, why did they do the moon thing if they're going to do the nanobots and the alien thing?
I mean, what if? And actually, I'll get into theories in a sec. There is a point in this where they fly inside the moon and it's a factory. That's a whole whatever. What if the aliens aren't bad, right? Because Roland Emmerich, one of the greatest filmmakers of our time, wants to send a message, you know? Just because someone looks different and is comprised of billions of nanobots doesn't mean they're the bad guy.
It's a real hearty message.
It is, isn't it? And so the moon, because of climate, is falling out of orbit. Now, the aliens, they've lived peacefully for 50-odd years. They've not harmed anyone at all. They're trying to fix the moon rocket ship, and
yeah, the moon is a ship, right?
Yeah. What's up with this? This is like AI, where Brendan Gleeson pilots the moon.
The more we talk about it, the better it gets. So, like, imagine trying to describe this plot to somebody who hasn't seen the trailer, which I'm assuming we're doing right now.
Absolutely. I hope someone sees this movie just by context of what we describe it as.
So, like, they have to go to the moon to destroy it because it's like the moon's coming to Earth. But when they get there, they realise, now we don't have all the context. The trailer just kind of gives you bits and pieces. But what I can gather is that the moon is not a moon, but in fact hollow. And within the moon, it's a spaceship.
Are you familiar with Star Wars A New Hope?
I have heard of it, yes.
There's a very famous line, a throwaway line by a roguish individual. That's no moon. That's a space station. Right?
Are they doing the Star Wars?
I think Roland, like they've gone beyond like Solo, where it's like, oh, let's explain how we got the Millennium Falcon and how we got, or like gone beyond Rogue One, where they take one line of text and make a movie out of it. Roland Emmerich has done that just with a concept of a moon being a space station. He's now making a movie about that.
But can I just make the point, is that in this trailer, we see the moon like really, really close to Earth. Okay, like really close. And they're all like, the West Coast needs to evacuate.
Yeah, the West Coast of America.
Which, by the way, if that happened in real life, people would be on Twitter going, I'm not moving, you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah, you move,
the sheep. On top of them. Look at all these sheep moving. I'm going to fight the moon. That's what I'm going to do.
It would be the argument of like, oh, the moon always orbits. It always changes position in the sky. Not fucking lengthwise. Like...
But like, even if the moon is a ship, right? Let's just think about it, right? The moon's a ship, and they fly to Earth. But does that not tell us that they win immediately, even when they fly 2 inches closer to Earth?
Yeah, Earth is gone.
Fight over.
Like, as soon as that moon moves, Earth is gone. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
it's not a long fight. By the time they get here, we are well dead.
How do you fight the moon? Like,
because it's a ship. So if they blow it up, what's left?
Yeah, it's like, oh shit. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
What if at the end of this movie there's a new moon, but it's made of the nanobot aliens, and they reached an agreement with humanity that they would like.
But what happens in the time between them fighting the alien moving the moon, them fighting the aliens, and then at the end they go, no, right, well, we'll put the moon back. But there's still a whole 2-day period there where there's no moon. And I feel like that's too long.
I feel like because by the time to plan a space mission, right?
It's the only reason I do this movie for you.
Even in a crisis situation, the logistics involved in getting a rocket off the ground.
Yeah.
By that time, the moon's damage has already been done. Also, evacuating the West Coast. How far does that reach?
How far east?
How far east are you going? Because like, do you just, you're in fucking Sacramento. Do you hedge your bets? Fucking like,
fuck, we're in Las Vegas. It's pretty central, but like, do we keep going? I don't know.
That's like you'd feel great like if you just stayed and your house is now like coastline property.
Do you like the idea? People in New York, like, lads, sit back. This is fucking pissed. Easy peasy. Don't have to move an inch. This moon's never going to hit us.
Would it not affect both coasts though?
I would assume it would affect everywhere.
Every coast, like Ireland is gone. If it's dangerous enough to evacuate the west coast of America, Ireland is just gone. Like, we're wiped out immediately.
We're like 1/50th of the west coast of America.
Yeah. I think we're not even New York, like, probably. I don't know how big things are. But
oh, no, absolutely not. So we only have a population of like 5 million.
And like 1 million of that is in Dublin. Like,
but like, I mean, this movie, it stars Patrick Wilson. It's got Halle Berry. It's got John Bradley from Game of Thrones. I mean, Donald Sutherland's there. very good cast. Charlie Plummer's in it. Roland Emmerich's the director. He wrote it as well. Shaun, this is box office. This is going to make big money. I'm all in, Shaun. This looks like Oscar winning.
See, it depends what it comes up against. Do you know? Like, I feel they could market this really, really well. And I think it could do as well as not a Fast and Furious movie now, but a Fast and Furious movie maybe 10 years ago. I think this movie does really, like, that level well. I think it's going to make $350 million.
Apparently, that is a big fucking claim. Apparently, Halle Berry is the character that she plays in. They released a summary of the plot. Apparently, she thinks that she's convinced she has the key to saving us all.
Right, and does she tell anyone this?
I think she goes to tell NASA, which I think would be the first people you'd tell. But at the same time, mere weeks before impact, she goes to NASA.
The time frame is weeks. No.
Yeah, it's weeks.
It's weeks. Weeks they're doing this over.
Look, here's the thing. The boys went to the moon in 1969. They encountered aliens. They were interacted with 2 minutes. Nobody ever said nothing, right? They came back. Turns out the fucking moon, alien spaceship. Flying to Earth now. They want revenge for something we don't know what. Maybe the astronauts pissed them off somehow.
How much damage could the 3 lads have done?
Buzz Aldrin gave the middle finger when he was leaving. Fuckers!
And then you have poor Michael Collins left on the ship.
He was the worst. He was the worst.
Yeah, he spray painted a dick on the moon. Back of the moon. Also, how much do you think they're getting Pink Floyd for the soundtrack?
I hope so. I hope they go all in, because I feel like it's such a dumb idea. I think you have to go all in. You have to.
And here's my want for the soundtrack. You get Fall Out Boy. Alright?
Oh, they redo the Ghostbusters theme again.
They also redo the song from Big Hero 6 that they did.
Oh, why would they need to it's their song.
No, because they just say the word moon during the chorus.
It's not Immortals.
No, it's Moontals. No, yeah, it's moon, but they try and stretch it over the syllables of Immortals.
Patrick Stubbs like, it's not enough syllables, lads. It's just not. I can't do it.
Moo, woo, 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 woo.
I think it's great. I just think this is a great idea.
I'm genuinely excited.
Moonfall is coming out 2022, February 4th. So early next year, Shaun. It's 4 months away. I'm counting down.
Do you know what's gas? That's the day before my anniversary. So what if? That's a fun date night.
Hello. How would you feel, my love? But I've been thinking of going to the cinema. What do you want to go see? I have an idea. Just a movie what you do is you play dumb. You turn up and you go, what did they have on? Oh, what did they have on? Oh, we've arrived at exactly the right time to go see Moonfall.
Oh, what? All other screens have been locked? Oh no. Remember I said I'd give you the moon and stars?
This is what I meant, baby. Sit the fuck down.
It's all been leading up to Moonfall.
I think we should see other people. So we're moving on, Shaun, to our next piece of news. Moonfall. Oh man, if you haven't seen that trailer, just go watch it. The hype is real. Watch it. I'm all in.
I'm all in. I'm genuinely all in. I want to watch this movie now.
I want it to be terrible, but I think that would be good. I want it to be so bad that I enjoy it. We're moving on to our... Like the Meg. We're moving on to our next piece of news, Shaun, and this news story really caught my eye because it involves your favourite DC cancelled film, which of course
Trench?
was The Trench.
The Trench!
Yes.
Trench news! It gets better and better.
Can you remind everyone what The Trench was?
So, have you ever seen Aquaman?
Yes.
Which I rewatched the other day. That's certainly a movie. It's the most middle of the road thing I've ever seen, I think.
Momoa's got charisma though.
Oh, he does need. They fucking need it. But the trench is like, it's the Mariana Trench, and the idea is that when people from Atlantis went under the sea, they all adapted to different ocean climates, and the trench all became anglerfish people, basically. Like, they're savages, they're mindless, they're just a horde of death that will always keep coming towards you. And
it's going to be a horror film.
It's going to be a horror film.
A spin-off.
Yeah, but at the end of the movie, at the end of Aquaman controls the creatures of the trench. Because he's Ocean Master or whatever.
And so that was what we learned, and then it was we were like, that's a really weird idea for a movie when you haven't even really done a proper Flash movie yet.
Yeah, and I don't think we have a Superman anymore.
Yeah, they're like, let's do the fucking trench, lads. This is what the people want. But what we've learned this week is a bit more news about the cancelled Aquaman spin-off. And this is, of course, from James Wan, who was set to direct it, who was set to write it and direct it, and he directed Aquaman, I'm pretty sure.
He did, yeah.
As well. And James Wan did a recent tweet, or a post on Instagram, I should say, and he said, I'll let you all know a little secret. The cancelled Aquaman spin-off The Trench was actually a secret Black Manta movie that we never got, Shaun.
What?
Yes.
But we had Black Manta. We had his origin story.
Own film.
Oh, right. So what happened to Black Manta at the end of Aquaman?
Oh, he's still alive. He's reprising. Well, he's in the second one. So
yeah, but see, like, fucking Black Widow got her own movie, and she was very dead.
So it was actually, The Trench was going to be a spin-off that was going to reintroduce Black Manta in a sort of Black Adam Shazam kind of way, where you have the hero and then you have the villain, and he has his own film. I don't know how you would make Black Manta like an anti-hero. So for anyone who has seen, I mean, in recent years, the main piece of like the main thing that he's been in is probably Young Justice. He's a big part of Young Justice season 2, season 1, and so, I mean, Black Manta's a bad dude. All around, just a pretty fucked up dude. And he doesn't like Aquaman whatsoever.
No, they do go away towards kind of giving him a reason, I suppose, in the movie. Like, Aquaman killed his father in front of him, and so it's a revenge kind of thing. Yeah,
David Kane is...
Yeah.
And he's defeated by Aquaman, but the mid-credit scene of the movie sees him joining forces with Dr. Stephen Shin, played by Randall Park, Shaun.
Oh, who's Stephen Shin?
To be honest with you, I don't know.
Right. Let me... Hang on. DC Wiki. He's a marine biologist who became obsessed with Atlantis and Aquaman.
Yeah, big character.
Okay. Apparently he has a red string wall of some kind.
Oh, I love a red string wall.
Love a red string wall. He's obsessed with finding out who Aquaman is, even though he very publicly takes selfies and has no mask. He's just himself. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows him. He'll shout that Bruce Wayne is Batman. That's what he does.
In front of the whole village. Doesn't give a shit.
Well, they're all getting ready for sing-song time, Connor, aren't they?
They are. What a weird scene. We went different ways. But what would you have felt like having a Black Manta film coming, called The Trench, but actually about Black Manta in a sort of Black Adam Shazam kind of way?
I don't like it as much as having, like, I think it would be better with like Aquaman or Momoa, because then you see a character who we're fully aware of their skill set, and then they're on the back foot. Whereas, like, Black Manta, for all the Atlantean tech and suit and everything like that, he is just a regular man.
That's cool, though.
Does look very cool. It's a very cool suit. I like it very much. But I just think, I for the horror side of it to work, I think it works better with a character that we know and like, rather than the villain from the last movie.
I do think that I just see this is just a small story that caught my eye. I was like, would that have been better? And I was like, it would have been better in the world, but then I still think it's called The Trench, it's probably not. It's an Aquaman spin-off to a movie that was fine. So I don't know if it would have. It's probably a good idea to cancel it. Did you hear the news this week that they cancelled the new? Do you remember New Gods was going to be the new DC movie? And then that was cancelled along with The Trench. And then it came out that Ava DuVernay, I think I'm pronouncing her name right, maybe it might be slightly wrong, but she came out, she was meant to direct it.
Yeah.
And they cancelled that because Darkseid is a big part of New Gods.
Right.
And Zack Snyder's movie didn't do well. And so
she lost
they just
out
cancelled it.
That's not great. Just do Darkseid again. Like, you know, there's a bunch of Marvel stuff that didn't do well, but they'll just keep going. I've yet to see Eternals. We'll see what happens there. But like, it wasn't there meant to be a Justice League Dark thing as well with like Zatanna and Constantine and all that kind of stuff?
That was rumoured as well, yeah.
Around the same time as this is why I'm thinking.
But I think they'll probably end up just doing them at HBO Max. That's what they're kind of doing with all. That's what they did with the Batgirl film as well.
Maybe, yeah. Wouldn't it be? It'd be cool to have like, if we were to do The Trench, me and you, I think we would do like that could see that could work as a series, like a 6-episode escape from the trench kind of scenario.
Oh, like Squid Game.
Like Squid Game. Like kind of a because water and ocean and stuff, you know, squids. You know, like
remake Squid Game, but just plagiarise it. Don't say anything. It's underwater now.
Look, just give me an American PG-13 Squid Game remake, please.
You know that's coming. Everyone prepare themselves.
Yeah, like Joel McHale's going to be the cop.
Joel McHale is the cop.
Chris Pratt is going to voice everyone.
Moving on to our next piece of news, Shaun. Chris Pratt will voice. He's got a new gig, and I was thinking he didn't have enough gigs in Hollywood. And it's funny you brought that up because I was going to do a different story, but that leads us on to one of the stories we were going to get to this week, and that is
been putting in extra hours at the Segway factory this week.
Thank you. Chris Pratt will be doing another voice, Shaun. So a few weeks ago, we heard the amazing news. He's going to be Mario. And he's perfectly cast in that role.
Finally, said we.
There was petitions after petitions, and finally we got what we wanted. He was going to be Mario. And now all of my online petitions have worked again, because I was non-stop saying Bill Murray shit, Chris Pratt savage.
Yeah, you had 2 petitions going. John Krasinski for Mr. Fantastic and Chris Pratt for a Garfield.
Garfield, because Chris Pratt will be voicing Garfield in a new animated movie, Shaun. This guy I don't know what he's doing, the Hollywood creators, but they're all over him at the minute.
I think it's a weird byproduct of people not liking that he was cast as Mario, that it's free advertising. Like, if you cast Chris Pratt in any voice role for the next year and a half, everyone is going to talk about it.
And it's got to be like characters that were famous in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, Chris Pratt as Captain Caveman.
Captain Planet. Bring him back as Captain Planet.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Chris Pratt as... actually, you want one that's going to fuck with people. You get Chris Pratt as Scrooge McDuck in a DuckTales movie.
Oh, fuck. It's Chris Pratt as all 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's not bad, actually.
Himself.
Just Annie's Master Splinter.
Oh yeah, obviously. And he's like, but he keeps like changing his voice slightly so you can tell.
Yeah, and can Stephen Amell still be Casey Jones?
Yeah, but he's real life.
He's live action. Yeah.
Shaun, how do you feel about Chris Pratt as Garfield? I mean, it's a movie we definitely won't see.
No,
it's fine?
It's a nothing. It makes no difference to anyone's life except all the people employed by the production company. Fair enough, but like I this is going to be about as good as like Scoob and Trolls World Tour. Like, they're not made for us, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, I think the internet like kind of blows up whenever Chris Pratt is in something now, especially after the Mario news. Everyone's kind of like, hang on a minute. But at the end of the day, none of us are going to go see this. It doesn't really matter.
No.
it's just a bit of a weird casting that they probably should have cast somebody better.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could do, like, what if he's like, see, they already did Mewtwo in Detective Pikachu, but if Chris Pratt was cast as Mewtwo, that would have the same reaction. And
recast him as Pikachu as well.
Yeah, overwrite Reynolds.
Yeah, because nobody liked Reynolds. Everybody's in on Pratt. Everyone knows that.
He's the hottest thing in Hollywood right now.
Yes.
Apparently.
I love the idea that, like, people are now cashing in. They're just like, fuck, 2014 Guardians of the Galaxy star. He's pretty good. Yeah,
do you know what I think? I think that, like, Guardians got put on hold until,
and now he's just free time.
He's had free time. He's been locked down. He doesn't want to do the Marvel workout for a little while, so he's just going to do voice stuff for a bit.
Yeah, dead right. So we're moving on to another two beefy men, Shaun. And this new story caught my eye because I think this is big news. And it's only come out in the last day or so. And that is about Vin Diesel and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Is this about the ongoing feud between the two actors?
About the ongoing feud, Shaun. So, a few years ago, these two were, of course, in, I think it was Fast 8 when the feud started. It might have been Fast 7. But basically meant, in real life, they kind of didn't get on. And it's weird because The Rock gets on with everyone. So I just assumed it's just kind of a ploy to sell the movie. Oh, they really don't like each other this time, guys. Oh,
yeah,
boys.
Oh, this is these are always at each other's throats.
And I just assumed, right, they're just going to make a few sales because people are buying it just for the sake of, like, I wonder if they'll fight. But then, when you watch the film, say 8, I don't know if he wasn't in 9, might have been 7, they're not in a lot of scenes together. And The Rock is in it, and Vin Diesel is in it, but they're never really in the same scene except the very, very end shot.
Like, where they have to be.
Interesting. And then, of course, The Rock went off and did Hobbs and Shaw, and he didn't come back for Fast and Furious 9, which is a ridiculous movie. Seen it. Ludicrous.
Ludicrous. Is he in it as well?
Yes, he was. Actually. And Vin Diesel was still there. And what happened is now they're doing Fast and Furious 10. So Hobbs and Shaw, Rock is off doing Hobbs and Shaw, and he has really no interest to show him back up. Vin Diesel says they're ending Fast and Furious on Fast 10. Here's the thing, Shaun. Fast 10 has needed The Rock to really big it up. And what Vin Diesel has done is he's called for a truce with The Rock and asked him to show up in Fast and Furious 10 in a social media post that really caught my eye just for how cringe it is that I thought you might like.
Sounds pretty desperate. I haven't read this post because I assume it would come up.
I'm gonna read the first 4 words to you, Shaun. My little brother Dwayne.
Oh, bad start. Vinny.
He's on the back foot. He's already on the back foot.
Because he's a big man. He doesn't want to be called little anything.
And of course, all the contracts have come out where they were like, we can't get beaten in a fight, or you can't get punched more than like 6 times in a fight.
Yeah.
And all that shit. Like, really weird stuff going on. But I love the idea that, like, he's like, we need your help, man, but also, you're a little fucking bitch. I'm massive. Of all the fights to pick with The Rock, do not go for his size. Surely.
No, that's one of the things that he's known for. Like,
my little brother Dwayne, the time has come. The world awaits the finale of Fast and Furious. As you know, my children refer to you as Uncle Dwayne in my house. There is not a holiday that goes by that day and you don't send well wishes. But the time has come. Legacy awaits. I told you years ago that I was going to fulfill my promise. To Pablo, I swore that we would reach and manifest the best Fast finale ever in 10. I say this out of love, but you must show up. Do not leave the franchise idle. You have a very important role to play. Hobbs can be played by no other. I hope you rise to the occasion and fulfill your destiny.
Wow. Surely this is a conversation that should be had with managers and contract lawyers and things like that.
If ever I've seen a post to kind of put The Rock in a shit corner, that he has to now do it. There's no way he can't.
But I think everyone would be fully behind him if he said nah. Like, if he'd just turn heel and just be like, no, I'm not doing it.
I'm doing Hobbs and Shaw too.
Yeah, that's what you all want, people. Like, it's just a fucking... It's a very arseholey move to put someone in that position. I mean, look, that's how you got me on this podcast, to be fair. So
true.
It does work.
That is true. I kept doing Instagram posts.
Yeah.
My little brother Shaun, you must fulfill your destiny.
Oh, this is it? Cool.
But like, Vin Diesel, he kind of gives me a bit of a strange vibe. I've kind of always said that. I don't know what it is.
I feel like for the longest time I thought he was just grand, but recently the more I've seen of him, he's just like, he's off a little bit. Like, he just... He doesn't quite know how to be sound.
Like he's not actively wrong, but he's a bit off, is what I would say. So I wouldn't go, I dislike him, like I hate him.
No.
Whenever I see him, I think, there's something. I wouldn't know what it is.
sit beside him at a party. Like,
if there was a party, I would let him sit on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're at a table with like a few people get up to use the loo and get drinks. No, you don't want him left or right. Yeah, you don't want to be left alone at the table either.
No,
because then I feel he'd start talking about NFTs, but without knowing what they are.
But with the confidence of a man who knows.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or he'll try and turn me on to this new form of like energy fuel paste that he slathers on himself.
Is The Rock going to be in Fast and Furious 10? And if he has to be now, surely.
I think he does. I also think this is probably the marketing department told Vin Diesel to do this. But I don't think he did it off his own back, sitting on the couch. Like, I bet he did. He's kind of weird. No, maybe. But like, I imagine they will pay The Rock an extortionate amount of money.
Oh yeah, I think the real social media post should have been, "We'll give you $50 million just do the movie."
Well, yeah, or like, look, we'll tell everyone you did it out of good faith, but really, 50% of the gross, like that.
50, and they all make $1 billion.
Yeah,
50% of the gross, Rock. We just need you for 3 days filming. We'll get you in, get you out. We just need 75. La Familia at the end.
We need to assemble La Familia. You can do Hobbs and Shaw for the rest of your life. You want Jungle Cruise? We'll give you Jungle Cruise.
Vin Diesel has no control over Jungle Cruise. He's like, I'll fucking give it to you. I'll find out. No,
sorry, Hobbs becomes the captain of the Jungle Cruise.
Oh, that's good. And Shaw has to save him?
Maybe. Oh. So that's the B plot. And then at the end, all of the cars land on the raft.
And Emily Blunt's like, what the fuck is going on? This is weird.
Here? But then she pulls up her umbrella and flies away. And then the noise monsters come and attack.
Yeah. The cars would be so loud, Shaun. Those noise monsters would eat Vin Diesel alive.
That's it. And then Tom Cruise wakes up on that battleship.
Do you know what? By the way, the movie crossover we all need is the Fast and Furious crew against the aliens from A Quiet Place.
That's busted. Because
Fast and Furious family, they can't die. They're literally invincible. Like, nothing kills them. The monsters in Quiet Place kill everything. They just annihilate anything in their path. What happens?
Unstoppable force, immovable object, I think. And then... I feel like the Fast crew would probably take it, but then, but it needs to escalate. It needs to have A Quiet Place first. They defeat all the aliens through the power of La Familia and all honking their horns at the same time, and then what they do is they turn around, and it's Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith from Men in Black, and they're like, "We need your help." And so they finish all of that stuff. And then, I mean, what's next? Jump Street, I suppose. That has to be brought in there
here's
somewhere.
Here's the thing, by the way. This conversation has happened in a conference room somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how the fuck do we throw these together? We need more money. Because people aren't going to go see original ideas. Fuck that.
Hear me out, okay? Endgame. Final battle. Portals open.
On your left cap, vroom vroom into the fucking portal.
You just hear the afterburner and then you just see a flash.
And there's just like a slight moment where, and then Steve turned around and he's like, is that Cuban Nos?
Oh, that's Cuban Nos.
Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this involves one of our favourite directors working today, Mr. Edgar Wright.
Yes.
He is currently out promoting his new film, which is Last Night in Soho.
Yeah, which is like so hard to watch in Ireland, by the way. It's in like no theatres.
Yeah, it's almost impossible. But he's one to kind of go around through genres. He kind of picks and chooses. Now, of course, he's done Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead. Now he's done Last Night in Soho. He did Baby Driver, all over the place. And he doesn't normally do sequels ever at all, really.
Yeah.
And they've kind of asked him about Baby Driver 2 as well. And he's kind of like, I'd only really come back if there was something really cool that I thought of. But most of the time he doesn't like doing that. What they've asked him this time, though, is because he's doing the press tour, they're asking him about different projects of like, what's next? What are you doing next? And the thing that he pitched was, not pitched, but he brought up of his own volition, is a James Bond movie, Shaun. Because Last Night in Soho director Edgar Wright wants to pitch a James Bond film to MGM.
Fuck me. I mean, they're just printing money.
My question to you, Shaun, is you, of course, notoriously not a big fan of James Bond, find it quite boring. Big fan of Edgar Wright. Yeah. Do you think if Edgar Wright came in to do a James Bond film, you'd be excited for a James Bond film in a weird way?
I think probably for the first time ever, yeah. I want that, but also I was really excited for Ant-Man because Edgar Wright was supposed to direct that.
True.
But the studio put like blinders on him and tried to steer him in a certain direction. Now, if I was to say there was any studio in the world outside of Disney that would do that to a director, MGM is probably up there, specifically with the James Bond franchise.
Oh, it's their baby.
Yeah, like it's their... No, it's always the same, and he's always a bastard. Like, I don't think they're looking for clever ideas. Now, maybe I'm wrong, because they did do Casino Royale, and that was a big shift from what came before. But I don't know that they would let Edgar Wright just do Edgar Wright on this.
So he actually has kind of come out and said that of all the names being bandied around at the minute, I can't quite see any of them. In terms to me, they feel like Daniel Craig 2. And he said, like, he started off by saying, Daniel Craig's done a great job, of course, an incredible stamp on the franchise, all that kind of stuff. And he says, I don't think there's anything to be gained by continuing in the same vein. And I would certainly think that it would be interesting to try, and I mean, do have a take, whichever they ask me. I'll definitely pitch it to them. So I'm not going to say it on the podcast, but I do have an idea. And so what he's saying is that he doesn't really want any of the names being thrown around. And if he's going to do it, he's not going to redo something along the same lines of what they've done.
Yeah.
I mean, now the more he talks about it, the more I'm kind of like, holy shit, this could be like weirdly good. I never was going to think of putting these two together.
But the thing is as well, would you rather that, or would you rather just Edgar Wright make a spy movie?
No, you know what? I think I'd like him to see what he does with James Bond.
Really?
Because I think that's a harder job. I think he could easily do an amazing spy movie and just knock it out of the park. And everyone's like, oh, it's so kooky and weird. It's fucking right up his alley. But imagine, we give Edgar Wright, a very talented man, here's James Bond, a property that, although the recent movie actually got good reviews, I heard it's quite decent, to be fair.
Yeah.
But in previous installations, it has been kind of dropping every single time. People are kind of a bit fatigued on it. So give him this and just go, do whatever you want. Let's just see what you do.
Yeah, and look, it is interesting to see how he would take that world, I suppose. I think if the studio doesn't go for it, I can totally see him just doing his own story, you know? So we might get to see it in some form, and everyone will be like, "Oh yeah, it's really a James Bond movie," but he can't call it that.
Just give me a scene where James Bond drop kicks an old lady over a wall, and I will be happy. I'll be back all in on Bond. I'm like, fucking yeah.
What's your favourite of the Cornetto trilogy?
I think it's Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz is pretty good. I like Shaun the Dead.
Well, I mean, it's in your name, of course.
Well, and zombies, man. It's everything I love.
See, I like Shaun the Dead, but I think Hot Fuzz, it has the moment where he drops kicks the old woman, and that always makes me laugh so
it's a winner.
much.
It's
so unnecessary. It's just absolutely...
But yeah, but that whole movie, like, it's a lot more polished of a movie, I think.
Yeah, I think Shaun the Dead is like all of the talents, but not as refined. Yeah. And Hot Fuzz is like a few years later, and he's kind of perfected what he's looking for.
Yeah. And so put that on James Bond, and I think you have a winner there. Also, let him make Ant-Man again.
No, I don't think he'll do it. I don't think he'll ever be involved with Marvel again after what they did.
Oh man, not even new Marvel. Not even if Taika Waititi called him.
Let them co-direct something.
Yeah, oh fuck me.
No, I don't think it would work. I think it would be too
different styles.
Yeah, just like they wouldn't mesh.
That would be really interesting though. Like give each of them the same script and just see what happens. How each of them.
What you're thinking of is like Bake Off, but for directors.
Exactly. I want to spend billions of dollars on an experiment.
And you get a guy called Paul Hollywood in and let him host it.
Oh, yeah. Because Hollywood and films.
No, because Paul. Lots of people are called Paul.
With Paul starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Yes, it's all connected. It's all connected. I just thought of something, by the way. Edgar Wright, DC, you would let him do either a Booster Gold film and print money, or let him do a Wally West Flash movie and
that'd be good.
Print money. I mean,
can I offer another one?
Okay.
Either Constantine, which I think would be very cool, or Plastic Man.
Plastic Man wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, a lot of effects. In Plastic Man.
I was thinking Booster Gold because it's a character nobody knows, and that's kind of the idea. So I'd like to see what he does with just a character nobody has any clue who they are. Just fucking go mad.
The Joker, perhaps?
Let him do the Joker. Yakin, come back in. We're going to do Taxi again. So we've got a next piece of news, Shaun. It's a small piece of news, but are you in the mood for a bit more Harry Potter movies?
God, I don't think so, Connor. I genuinely don't.
I'm not talking about weird, amazing beasts. Where to find them? Where are they? Right?
Okay.
I'm talking about.
Love the title.
The Cursed Child movie.
Wasn't that shit? Didn't everyone not like that? Wasn't that really bad?
Chris Columbus, the man behind multiple Harry Potter movies, he directed, I think, the first three. It was the first 2 or 3. Also did Home Alone. He's been around the block, has Chris.
Busy man.
But he says that he would love to return to Harry Potter and direct the Cursed Child movie, starring all of the same characters but all 20 years older, because it is the 20th anniversary, I think, of the first one. So I think Philosopher's Stone came out in 2001. Although I think it's called Sorcerer's Stone in America.
In America, yeah.
Yeah.
Because why, as a philosopher might say. But So dumb. Okay, like, could an alternate headline to this just be titled "Director Wants More Money"?
I do agree, but Chris Columbus does have a bit of sway. So my point was, it's not just anybody, it's the guy kind of involved in getting it off the ground, and is like, you know what, I kind of want to go back and do another one. The studio's probably much more likely to listen to him going, well, Chris, do you have a good idea? Because we like to print money.
That's interesting, because those first movies are a lot more optimistic as well, compared to where the series ends up. It gets a lot more grim and dark. So to see him then, 20 years on, because I think the Cursed Child is like, it's Harry and all are working in the Ministry of Magic, and their kids are now in Hogwarts, and there's time travel involved.
Yeah, and I think they're the right age now. Although Daniel Radcliffe still looks amazing. I think he still looks like 25. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Like
I think the kid is meant to be 10 or something.
Yeah, well, they did age him up, I suppose, at the end of The
really
last Harry
weirdly.
Potter. Really weird. They just made him look worse. They didn't make him look older. But I don't know, man. Like this doesn't feel interesting.
Do you just think leave the first 7 or first 8, I should say, and just let them happen? Even like say the Amazing Beast one, nobody really gives a shit. Just leave the first 8.
Leave the first 8. Like the movies were coming out along with the books for a while. Like there was a good few years there. It was just this massive run of Harry Potter. But now I feel like you have people who are fans of it, and I think everyone like enjoys it or has a passing fondness for it in some way, shape, or form. But I don't think there's like the rabid nature that there is anymore. And I think making a movie out of the play that was released as a book that was fairly poorly received, I don't think that's the best way to instill hype.
I don't know. I think JK's on the up in terms of publicity.
Oh yeah, she's a fucking publicist lover, you know. If there's one safe bet in entertainment, it's J.K. Rowling in 2021.
She's doing well these days.
Oh, God, she's awful.
Yeah, I do think a Cursed Child movie, maybe just leave it. But that is to say, I'm kind of setting up this news story basically as a warning to us and the listeners that this is definitely going to happen in probably the next 5 years. This will be announced, I'm pretty sure.
And like, it's Warner Brothers, and so you have the HBO Max route as well. Which is
they're going to go all in. Because, I mean, and they'll make it a trilogy of the one book.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. You can't just make one movie anymore. It's going to be a fucking nightmare.
And so, Shaun, we're going to finish off this week talking a week where you have come in sick. I have come in a bit coffee. We've soldiered our way through to talk about the big news story that I knew you were dying to have a chat about.
Undying, Connor.
Undying, because last week when we started, when I called you up to do the Dune review, the first thing you said was, did you see the Morbius trailer? And I said, no, I haven't yet. And you were like, okay, and you kind of reserved yourself back in. So now I'm interested, Shaun, because the Morbius trailer has come out, bringing Jared Let-o to the big screen. Again, it's been too long.
Once more gracing our retinas with his face.
Shaun, what did you think of this trailer? You love Morbius, you love Marvel. How do you feel?
Oh, see, the way you phrase that there sounds like this should be made for me. But this looks really dumb, and not in a good way.
Here's the thing though, I was watching it and there's so many positive reviews, so I was really interested to know how you felt, because I was feeling negativity from you.
Yeah, I'm biased because I don't like Jared Let-o.
That's something I have to kind of temper myself. I'm kind of like, I don't like Jared just because of the man he is. Yes. But is this an okay film?
It doesn't fill me with, it feels less like, as an example, less like The Winter Soldier, and it feels more like Blade 2, which...
Blade 2 is pretty good.
But Blade 2 is good in the time it came out. Like...
you thinking it seems more like Venom because it's in the same universe, Shaun.
Did they not hit you over the head with that hard enough? No.
That thing in San Francisco.
Yeah. He says we are Venom at one point. It's gas, lads. But like, it feels like Sony is this kid at the back of the... No, he's in the front of the class, actually. And he's putting his hand up to the teacher saying he did his homework for 2 nights. Just being like... Just showing off for the sake of it. But they have... Like, Sony has this one other property that's mildly successful. And so they have to use that to advertise this film, because God forbid it stand on its own. It has to be a universe.
They have every Spider-Man in this as well, because you've got Keaton, so of course you've got Homecoming. by the way, I rewatched on Twitter, so on my timeline, somebody retweeted, the scene where he finds out that he's Peter Parker.
The red light, green light thing, yeah.
It's like a 2-minute clip, and I rewatched it. I was like, that's so fucking good. Oh,
so
man.
Keaton
should have won an Oscar for that one scene. But, but you have Keaton in it, so Homecoming. You've got Oscorp from the Amazing Spider-Man movies. And then you also have a big poster of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man appearing in multiple trailers so far. So, Shaun, which universe is it in? All of them? None of them? Who knows?
See, the thing is that I know. Okay, something got spoiled for me. I don't want to spoil it for anyone else.
Is it at the Venom mid-credit scene?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So maybe it's the fucking long con, and that Sony has like cobbled together this wild mismatched version of multiple universes, and then they're counting on Marvel to sort it all out.
That would be great. They just give them they open up the drawer and they gave them a load of elastic bands all in a big ball. And they're like, we did this. Do it better.
Fix. To be fair, I think the Amazing Spider-Man movie, I said this before, the Amazing Spider-Man movies fit best in that Sony universe, I think.
Yeah, and look, I will say this, I do have a few positives, I have a few negatives from this trailer shot. And I knew you were coming in negative, but I do have a few positives to kind of throw back at you. And that is, I think visually, CGI, I think character design-wise, I think this looks really, really good. In terms of, I think the crew behind the scenes, so not script or Jared, but the guys doing the design, I think he looks fucking fantastic when he turns. The CGI was a bit ropey in the first teaser, but that was a year and a half ago.
No, the transformation is impressive.
Especially when he does the hearing thing before he flies on the train. Okay, that looks weird. But the hearing thing of his ears turn you can see them slightly resemble a bat's ears. And I was like, oh, that's a really cool, very small touch that I quite like.
Okay, yeah, and other positives. I do like that they show the echolocation thing. I like that they show that in the trailer. He's not he's
Batman. Literally.
He's literally Batman. I'm middling on the... maybe it's the trailer and they're just expositing very heavily. But all the bits where he's sick old Michael Morbius and walking around supported by two people, it's a bit much for me. I think it's overdone.
Yeah, so, it gets to the point across, he's real sick, then he becomes a vampire, suddenly makes a massive improvement, but he also now has a bloodthirst and he wants to kill people.
Do we have a villain? Is there a villain exposited in this trailer?
The villain is ourselves, Shaun. Is
he
the villain? Actually, there's my major fucking gripe with this trailer, and if anyone, talk about beating you over the fucking head with something. About 5 times I've counted, they tell us, they run the whole gambit of, is he good? Is he evil? Does he like to kill? Does he not like to kill? You could end this whole city, you could kill this whole city, but you could save this whole city. Am I a hero? Am I a villain? Who knows? And then at the very end, we have Gibson, Tyrese Gibson is just you're meant to save lives, not kill lives. And so now I didn't get it the first 6 times, but the 7th time it said it, I went, wait, I bet he has a bit of a dilemma in this film. I think maybe he's kind of torn between doing good, doing bad. We don't know. Is he a bit of an anti-hero? It's very subtly done, but it's kind of there. I read between the lines.
Yeah, that's the because he is a doctor, Now he's never he's a science he's never stated purely to be a medical doctor who took an oath to save people. But this is the thing with that universe, is that they're only anti-heroes. There's no one who's good, who's no, what you're doing is wrong, I'm going to stop you. So, which means that, this vampire beast has to come up against regular humans as obstacles. It's...
They also said you could either heal the world or destroy the world.
Yeah, it's a pretty obvious choice for a good guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can I say,
the city wants to kill you, the other half wants to save you. I just can't figure it out. He's such a mysterious man. I don't know what he wants.
And I will say, the bat effects look really, really good.
Bat effects look real good. When he turns, it looked real good. The CGI people are doing a great job on that, I will say. What do you think of him gliding on the train? Cool or weird?
Oh, God, I don't know anymore.
I think it looks kind of goofy.
I think, it looks real dumb. It looks like a PNG of Jared Let-o, just like pasted over the train. He can fly.
And it happened right after like the ear thing, and I was like, oh, that's really impressive. And then that happened, I was like, oh, that's not as impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think he can sometimes fly in the comics. I'm not sure, it depends. But I guess you could do that. He's just like gliding, like he's channeling wind. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, he's channeling wind. I'm sure bats glide. They channel wind.
Yeah, they do. But I don't know. I'm still not excited for this movie. Is my main problem with this trailer. I kind of always have to ask myself the question: is it Jared or is it the movie? And it's always a difficult question to ask yourself. And so I feel like I've seen some positives, but I also felt like I really don't really care about watching. It's like Venom 2. I'm like, it's fine. I'm sure it'll be grand. I'm sure it'll make like $400-500 million. Sony will be like, we've got 2 blockbuster masterpieces, 2 anti-heroes. So Marvel will be lucky to have Venom and Morbius. Yeah, and a couple of things as well. I'm on a still frame here. The Daily Bugle is in this, and there's a headline saying "Rhino on the loose." Zoo hoax fools us all, and then there's a thing that says "Black Cat, friend or foe."
Is Black Cat a friend or foe? Is Morbius? It's all over. Everything is up in the air, Shaun.
Spider-Man. Hero or menace?
How many times in this movie is somebody going to ask him, are you good or bad?
That's the thing. Like, some kind of grey... It's just a grey universe in terms of morality. Like, I guess that's most things.
I like the bit of I kind of like the horror element on the ship. When he's like dragging him into darkness. I think that looks pretty cool.
That does look pretty cool. See, that's the thing. Is it has those moments... But I don't give a shit. You know?
Is it going to be good or bad, Shaun? Will it save the world or end the world? Will the whole city save us or kill us? What about this movie? Is it going to be ultimately a 5 or 6 out of 10?
I think Craven is going to wrong the wrong person in this movie. And at the end, that person will go to... he'll go to Craven the Hunter. Sorry, I said his name earlier. Morbius is going to kill the wrong person. That person's family or loved one, maybe an Osborn, will go and hire Craven the Hunter
and where
to kill
does
Morbius.
Toombs come in?
Toombs sets up a support group for people.
They get Toombs out of jail to try and catch him. Because they're like, you're the only person we know that could catch this vampire guy for some reason.
Yeah, also, like, it's fucking white. Like, because Toombs is in the MCU, but he's also here, and he's the same character, maybe? And why would they have him in if he wasn't important?
Did you hear Michael Keaton talking about them describing his character in this to him? So they were explaining all this, and he's like... and Keaton said, I go, and I'm thinking, you may as well be explaining quantum physics right now to me. All I know is I just know my guy, and I know the basics. So finally they're looking at me, and I just started laughing, and they said, you don't know what we're talking about, do you? And I said, no, I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about. Just shoot the movie.
I mean, yeah, just get it done. When is this coming out, by the way? Because
January 28, 2022, so the box office might be hurt by Moonfall.
Oh, God. Yeah, it'll be a massacre. Oh, Jesus.
Now, will this hurt Moonfall or will Moonfall hurt this, is the question.
I don't know. I mean, both happen at night in parts.
Do you know what's worse? Is I kind of want to watch Moonfall more than this.
I think so. I think I'd have more fun with Moonfall than this.
I think this might be edgy.
It could be very like hot topic. I also think it's coming out very soon after Spider-Man No Way Home as well.
For a reason.
Perhaps for a reason. Because there might be multiverses. Well, there is multiverses. They said in the Spider-Man trailer, there's multiple verses to every song. And you have to sing your heart out, Connor.
No, I'm assuming, look, there's multiverses we know in Spider-Man. My guess is they create a load of multiverses, and then this is like the next one up, and all the multiverses are just there, and Sony never asked Marvel what they were doing. They're just like, we're just going to fucking do it, and you better catch up.
We own these guys because you made a bad business deal years ago.
Morbius is where the real money is. So the Morbius trailer has come and gone. We don't have to talk about it again, because I'm pretty sure this is hopefully the last trailer, although they probably will bring another one out at the start of January.
I'd say so. It's a end credits of Spider-Man Far From Home, Morbius.
Oh, it's going to introduce him. Is he good or bad? He could save the world or kill the world. I don't know.
That's what Tom Holland says when he meets him.
Really just beat me over the head of the inner conflict of this character. I don't want to know what's through acting or subtlety. Just tell
don't
me.
Show.
That's what I want to know. Is he good or bad in this scene? I don't know. At the start of every scene, I want him to say it out loud, whether he's in a killy mood or a non-killy mood.
I'm about to be bad.
Oh, this is good. Oh, this is good now. Everyone better watch out. I'm like looking at everyone around me. Guys, better watch out. He's going to start killing.
Just nudging strangers in the cinema.
So that's it for this week's Movie Monday, Shaun.
What a week, Connor. Would you like me to take us out?
Yes, please.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We'll be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero Zero, and next Monday with another episode of Movie Mondays. Big thanks to all the patrons who support us over on Patreon. Link to that in the description, but big shout-outs go to Team Pekapeka, won the annual New Zealand Aotearoa Bird of the Year competition, and Waffles couldn't be prouder. Neither could we, Waffles. Fucking great day for the parish. Thanks also to Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe Burney, Róisín, Schrödóisìn, Hally, Ryan, Right Time, Evanson, Shaun, grow your mo for a bro, Jamieson. Yes, good cause.
Good cause.
Dominic, Jessiah, Florida Gal Green, Anna, Team Irish Walrus, Hjelmroos, Lil Dicky. The one replied with a maniacal laugh, they call me Jared Let-o McGrew.
Oh, fuck.
It's all
Jared
connected.
Is back.
Jared is back. There's no escape. Shout outs also to Danny McLaughlin, Ray, I can't believe Wanda did this, Sammy DeLucia, Michelle, it's my birthday, Browne, a June run, Luke Hoth.
By the way, on Michelle, it was her birthday last week. We gave her the shout, but her daughter drew an amazing picture for her.
Amazing. There's an amazing. Go on to the Detective Divilment's discussion group on Facebook, because it's there. Michelle's daughter drew the player and our logo and everything like that, and it's so cool. It's too good. It's more than we deserve, honestly.
Yeah, I was looking at it like, I don't deserve this. Take it back. So if I was there, I would have ripped it up. I said, no more.
No, I would have cherished. I've contacted a framer.
We've gone different ways.
We've gone different ways. You know, you need variety in a podcast. But we both love June.
That was so cool.
That was so cool, and I hope you had a good and happy birthday as well. And so, yeah, if you want to join those fine people, head on over to patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that in the description. All of the socials then, the Facebook group we already mentioned. There's also Twitter, which is @Heroes for Hire pod. The 4 is the number 4, Connor. Don't get that mixed up.
I would, because you said it so eloquently.
Good. Yeah, I did. Also, we're on I don't know anymore. Also on Instagram, we're Heroes for Hire podcast. That's just all letters. Yeah. You're familiar with those.
Every word is letters.
Every word is letters if you think hard enough about it. And email any questions or queries to heroesforhire_@outlook.com. But I think that's about it, Connor.
So I have been Connor Lawler.
I have been Shaun.
And we shall see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.